Hey, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing today? How y'all doing? Make sure you check in and let us know where you're coming from. I'm sure it's pretty early where some of you guys are, but wanted to do this live today to get it off my chest. I see a lot of people got issues with Kyrie Irving today, man. A lot of people got issues with Kyrie. A lot of people, and I got a lot of stuff I want to get off my chest. So I'm gonna allow you guys to catch up to this live. Let's give it about another minute or so. Let's allow everybody to catch up, and then we're gonna get into it because I got a few things I got to get off my chest with Kyrie Irving, man. I got a few things. There's a lot of kind of weird things happening out there that I definitely want to touch on. So I'm gonna give it like another 30 seconds, and we're gonna get into it because this right here is a little weird. Make sure y'all come in. Let me know also if you guys can hear me in the chat. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Make sure you check in and make sure you let me know where y'all are coming from. I'm gonna take my time with this one today. Yeah, I got a lot that I want to talk about, man. I got a lot. Let's give it like another 30 seconds or so, and then we're going to get into it. Hey, appreciate that. Thank you for coming in from Brazil. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate you for being a part of this live. Let's give it like another 30 seconds, and we're going to get it started with this one here today. Appreciate you coming in from Canada. Hey, appreciate you. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for being a part of this. Okay, let's give it like another 20 seconds and we're going to get it started. Shout out to the UK. I can't really see that flag. At this point, Kyrie just an easy target to shoot, especially when it comes to ratings and views. I also believe a lot of this has to do with his stance on the vax and how much the media blew it up. Yeah, I got a lot of things I want to talk about with this Kyrie thing, man. A lot of welcome in from Kenya. Okay. People will come in and catch up to the live as we do. So as we continue. So I got a lot of stuff I want to talk about today, and I'm not going to take too much of your time. Welcome in from Grenada. I want to talk about this Kyrie Irving thing that occurred yesterday, right? We all knew, welcome in from Miami, we all knew what happened yesterday with Kyrie putting in his trade request. We did a live. Even people on ESPN and other platforms, they reacted to it, right? And when we first got the information, I think a lot of us were surprised because we didn't know that this is something that was going to come, and a lot of us didn't expect the trade request from Kyrie Irving, especially from the outside looking in. So after we gave our initial thoughts, we even talked about what teams Kyrie Irving could go to, what it means for the Brooklyn Nets and all of this. I saw some platforms talking about what does it mean for Kevin Durant and all of that. I then started to wait to hear what some of the bigger voices like Stephen A. Smith and others had to say about Kyrie Irving. And yesterday, I got a chance to listen to Stephen A. Smith, Nick Wright, Chris Broussard, Charles Barkley, Kendrick Perkins, Michael Wilbon, and every single one of these voices, shout out to the Bronx, every single one of these voices had a negative stance on Kyrie Irving. Almost all of them, literally, almost all of them were basically bashing him for putting in that trade request. Stephen A. Smith even called it an idiotic decision. Everybody started going at Kyrie. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Is it just me? Or is it that the entire media has decided that Kyrie Irving is going to be the guy that we're going to bash whenever he decides to do something? It's like as if everybody's agreed that it's okay for us to pile on Kyrie. Everybody's agreed with this. Like, it seems to be the common knowledge now. Whenever Kyrie Irving does something, it's okay for everybody to take a negative stance and basically talk any kind of way they want to. Even when they asked Kendrick Perkins yesterday on ESPN, he started saying Kyrie Irving isn't trustworthy and talking about him like this. It was only until Tristan Thompson was like, yo, hold up. I can kind of understand where he's coming from. Now, do I know the specific reason Kyrie Irving wants to trade? Not really. But I read a report this morning from CBS Sports, and I'll link it for you guys later, where basically Kyrie Irving is saying that no matter what happens now, no matter what happens, he is not willing to return to the Brooklyn Nets. And they're saying Kyrie Irving wouldn't even accept a max contract at this point per report. And I'm like, hold up. Just yesterday, when we started off the live, everyone was talking about, okay, the Brooklyn Nets need to pay him his money, including me, because I thought it was about money. But now it's like Kyrie Irving no longer wants to have a part of that organization. And the question I'm asking myself is, why? What is going on in Brooklyn that will cause Kyrie all of a sudden to say, I'm out of here? Now, according to this article, they're saying that Kyrie Irving told the Nets that he demanded to be traded on Friday, and Chris Haynes is reporting that his beef is with the team. At least his most recent one stems from a championship stipulation Brooklyn included in a contract extension recently offered to Kyrie. Now, listen to this. Chris Haynes reported Kyrie Irving's camp did not negotiate after Brooklyn Nets presented an offer. Listen to this. That was tied to team winning a championship. League sources tell NBA on TNT and Bleacher Report. Told the issue was not about money. And now it said he wouldn't even stay if offered a full max contract. When have you ever heard anywhere that in a contract they demand that in order for us to give you this, one of the stipulations is that you got to guarantee us an NBA championship? Where have y'all ever heard in sports a contract like that? Why would they make it as if that in order for Kyrie to sign, he has to guarantee them a championship? How is Kyrie Irving going to do that? Somebody asked me, where am I getting this information from? This information is from Chris Haynes, and I'm gonna link it to you for you guys here in the comment section before people start talking about I'm capping. Let me see. No, I got too many characters. Just go to let me see if I can link the article instead. Hold up one second. Let me see if I can link that instead. Can I link the article? Okay, let me pin that to the top. Okay, so that's what Chris Haynes said. If you don't believe me, call Chris Haynes, call Yahoo Sports, call whoever you want to call and ask them and verify that. Right? I don't know. My question is, why are they doing this to Kyrie? How is Kyrie supposed to guarantee them a championship? How? Now, it seems to me that the Brooklyn Nets are over Kyrie Irving. That's what it seems like to me. Like they're over him. And if you're over the dude, then it would be nice if the team stopped trying to humiliate him in public. I want to go back to something, and I want to take my time with this show here. We got some shows planned for y'all tomorrow because today we got some stuff. So I said, let me do a live today, but we got a lot of content coming tomorrow as well. I want to approach this thing from another angle. I want us to talk about the Brooklyn Nets as a team for a second. We spent a lot of time talking about Kyrie Irving. We spent a lot of time talking about Kevin Durant, but we haven't spent that much time talking about the Brooklyn Nets as an organization. And I want to talk about the Brooklyn Nets for a second. We put up a poll on the channel a few hours ago, about 6 hours ago, and we asked the question, what's the number one reason the Brooklyn Nets have been in a mess over the last few years. 32% said Kyrie, 63% said the Brooklyn Nets and ownership. I will almost guarantee you that the majority of the people that voted for Kyrie, whether they realize it or not, are influenced by the things people in the media have constantly been saying about Kyrie Irving. I guarantee you there is a bias that exists about Kyrie that people in the media, a picture they've been painting. So whenever they think about the issues of the Brooklyn Nets, they think of Kyrie Irving. Before the Brooklyn Nets suspended Kyrie, he was playing all the games. Kyrie has played about 40 games. He was forced to miss about 7 of those games, 6 or 7 games, or 8, I could be wrong, for his suspension. Kyrie was available. If you look at his production, his numbers are there. But what has happened in all of this? The Brooklyn Nets management has a major role to play here. Team owner Joe Tsai, I believe, is partially responsible for what is going on, and it's not just Kyrie Irving. Joe Tsai was the one that traded, you can say Sean Marks, whatever it is, ownership, was the one that traded James Harden for Ben Simmons. I don't know how they did that, because apparently they traded a player that was injured, although he passed his physical. Y'all remember that? In order for you to trade a player, he must pass his physical examination. Ben Simmons gets traded. As soon as he gets traded, you see him practicing. Right before he comes back into the playoffs, all of a sudden we hear he has back issues. And they're like, where did these issues begin? That's the team ownership. They trade for Ben Simmons. Kevin Durant tells them, nobody crying on here. Kevin Durant tells them, we need a new head coach. Joe Tsai says, I stand by my staff. I stand by them, and we'll do what we're basically going to do, and we're not going to trade KD. The season starts. About 2 weeks into the season, they then fire Steve Nash. This is the Brooklyn Nets. You want to talk about instability. What championship team that wants to win a championship continuously puts themselves in situations that could end up derailing them? A lot of the Brooklyn Nets drama, especially the recent drama, has been self-inflicted. Then Kyrie Irving posts a link on his Twitter page linking to an Amazon movie. Then Joe Tsai, instead of trying to handle the situation in-house and not making it a PR disaster, what does Joe Tsai do? Joe Tsai basically throws Kyrie Irving under the bus in front of the public, created a whole media firestorm, and at the end of all of that, after the guy gets suspended, goes through sensitivity training, does all of those things, the guy comes to you and he says, okay, no problem. I'm going to go through all of these steps that you want me to go through. I'm going to go through all of the sensitivity training. I'm going to let y'all take away $500,000 from me. Plus, I'm going to lose all of that money that I'm supposed to be paid through my contract. I'm going to lose all of that money. I'm going to go through this entire process, humiliate myself and humble myself for you guys. I'm going to do all of that. Then when I come back, I'm going to be putting up damn near 50, 40, 90 numbers, playing extremely well. I'm going to be playing so well that I become an all-star starter. And then at the end of all of that, the Brooklyn Nets are now going to hand Kyrie Irving a contract that has a stipulation in it that says, let me read what Chris Haynes wrote, just to make sure I quote him properly. Kyrie Irving's camp did not negotiate after Brooklyn Nets presented an offer that was tied to the team winning a championship. League sources tell NBA on TNT, Bleacher Report told the issue was not about money, and now it said he wouldn't even stay if offered the full max contract. Then they offer this dude this type of contract. Why would you offer Kyrie Irving this type of contract unless you weren't trying to humiliate the guy? I believe that a lot of the stuff the Brooklyn Nets made Kyrie Irving do after he posted that link was absolutely humiliating and totally unnecessary. Now we get to this point, you want the guy to sign this ridiculous. Who in their right mind would sign a contract like this? Who would do that? Who in their right mind would do that? Who in their right mind would sign a contract like that? And then when you turn on the TV, everybody in the media is literally talking about Kyrie Irving like as if he's a fool. Like they talk about Kyrie like he's some dumb N. That's how it comes off to me. They be talking about Kyrie Irving like he is a dumb N. They don't even think twice to insult Kyrie. They don't even think twice about it. Everybody just agreed that Kyrie Irving is a moron. That's how they talk about him. Stephen A. Smith called the guy, oh, that's an idiotic move. You saw how Shaq and Charles Barkley were. Everybody just talks about the guy like as if he's some Dumbo. That's how it comes across to me. And my question is, and the reason we're doing this live is, what is the reason for all of this? When did we decide that Kyrie Irving is going to be the dude we're going to talk about anyway, anyhow? When did we decide that? Somebody said, okay, flat earth. I don't care if he believes if the earth is flat or not. What does it have to do with, okay, if he believes the earth is flat, so therefore what? Now that gives us the right to start talking about him like he's some crazy dude? There are a lot of people that don't believe that the earth that believe the earth is round and are dumb as hell anyway. So what does it mean? There are a lot of people that know the earth is round or believe that it's and are dumb as hell anyway. What are we talking about here? So if you believe the earth is round, all of a sudden it means you're smart? How many dumb people do we know that would easily agree with that and are still dumb? What are we talking about? Number one. Number two, I don't want to focus too much on whether or not Kyrie Irving believes the earth is flat or not, because I'm not going to let people sit up here and try to reduce Kyrie Irving down to one or two quotes. If we look at Kyrie Irving as a person, he seems to give a lot more of a damn about regular people than most dudes talking about him. Most people talking about Kyrie are elitists. They don't give a damn about the regular Joe. They're not donating their money like that. They're not that magnanimous with their money. So nobody's going to convince me that this dude is all bad. Nobody's going to convince me of this. What is going on with this Kyrie Irving thing, man? I don't get it. I don't get it. And why are the Brooklyn Nets? Why is Joe Tsai and these guys not being criticized enough? An idea came to me, and I'm going to touch on it on one of our other shows that we got planned. Maybe Kyrie Irving looked in the mirror and said, hold up a second. I don't want to play for an owner that has been accused of some of the things that he's been accused of. Oh, did I say that? 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 I don't. Did I say that? You know, the one that told Kyrie Irving he needs to go through sensitivity training. He needs to know how harmful his actions were. You know, that dude? That dude that was lecturing Kyrie Irving about ethics and about being a human being and all of this stuff and not doing, that dude was the one lecturing Kyrie about that. We ain't gonna say nothing about that, right? We're not gonna talk about that. We're not gonna go down that road. We know where it leads. Because you would expose a whole lot of hypocrisy. A whole lot. So we're not gonna go down that road. If you don't know what I'm talking about, maybe you need to do your research on the Brooklyn Nets and ownership and all of that. Maybe you need to do some research on them before we start dismissing Kyrie as some type of evil person. Maybe you need to do some research. If Kyrie Irving is all this bad, that's if we really want to be honest. So that's why I was upset. This is the pot calling the kettle black. I'm like, what moral ground do you stand on to be lecturing Kyrie? Are you kidding me? Like, what are we talking about here? So my only issue in all of this is, why is it everybody talking about Kyrie like he's a piece of trash? Everybody just assumes that Kyrie's dumb or and to be honest with you, as I'm gonna say before, maybe for the new people coming in, they treat Kyrie and talk about him like he's some dumb N. That's my issue. That's my issue with the way they talk about Kyrie. It's like they're so flippant about it. Like, okay, yeah, but you know, Kyrie's this and this. Only Tristan Thompson was the only person I heard yesterday say, hold up. He was the only one that came to the defense of Kyrie Irving. The only one. The guy wants to leave Brooklyn. What's the big deal? What's the big deal? You're talking about he can't be trusted. He can't be trusted for the team. Do you know what the team did when they threw him under the bus? If you as a human being, if you got any self-respect in you and you see your team basically throw you out to the wolves in the public, you go through that entire process. At the end, are you going to sit down and say, yeah, this is a team that really got my back? This is a team I can play for. And then you go to negotiate with them and they tell you, oh, by the way, you want to get a supermax? By the way, we got to stipulate that you win the championship. Who would they do that for? They wouldn't even ask Michael Jordan in his prime to sign a contract like that. I don't get it. After all what Kyrie went through, here we are again. Kyrie Irving's not my favorite player. I've disagreed with Kyrie in the past when Kyrie said, what did he say? He said, playing back-to-backs is inhumane. I was like, you can miss me with that. I'm like, I'm not agreeing with you on. There are times I have not agreed with Kyrie Irving. It's on our channel. I'm not going to hide about it. There are a lot of times I did not agree with him. There were times when he first came to the Brooklyn Nets with KD, and I'm like, Kyrie's taking way too many shots down the stretch than Kevin Durant. I said that. So I'm not running from it. But I think this is excessive. And to me, the problem is everybody seems to have one opinion on him. Nobody else feels any differently about Kyrie. Everybody thinks it's like the script is, okay, we've all decided that we think Kyrie's dumb. We think he's a cancer. We think he's negative. And we're only going to cover things when they're negative about Kyrie. That's it. Somebody made a point. I was watching a show yesterday. I can't remember the show. And he was talking about on Undisputed. He was like, because y'all know the Clippers just played the Bucks just a few days ago, and they lost. And the guy goes, why do they only show the Clippers on TV when they lose? The Clippers been winning all these games. Why do they only talk about Kawhi Leonard when he loses? That's what the guy said. He's like, I don't understand. Why they always got something to talk about when he loses? That's the part I didn't get. And I'm like, that's an interesting point. Is that how we're going to do it? Is okay, so that's the way of doing it? Whenever they lose, let's talk about it. Kyrie Irving is a toxic person, a toxic point. I don't know that. And when we say toxic, what do we mean by this? What do we mean by this? Is he a culture setter? No. But how many players in the NBA are? How many? And that still doesn't explain why they should put a stipulation like that in a contract. So my only issue is that I don't like the way everybody is talking about Kyrie. It's like they just summarily dismiss him as some dumb dude that doesn't know what's happening. And what kind of surprises me is that most of these people that are on television talking about Kyrie Irving, most of them have a way of either getting in contact with Kyrie or somebody that knows Kyrie to verify. It's not like people like us who doesn't know anybody in the NBA. We're really on the outside looking in. But for everybody to automatically assume that what he was doing is trying to tear the team up, tear the team apart, he's a negative dude. Nobody sent a text message to nobody else. Like, yo, let me just shoot a text to Kyrie, or let me shoot a text to somebody that knows him to ask him, yo, what's up? Before we start coming on TV and talking about what he did is dumb and all of these different things. Nobody could do that because yesterday they were calling him a Dumbo. But now what I'm hearing from that report is that they want him to sign a stipulation that says, let me read it again. According to Chris Haynes, Kyrie Irving's camp did not negotiate after Brooklyn Nets presented an offer that was tied to the team winning a championship. So he's dumb for signing something he knows he can't deliver upon. That makes him dumb. Help me understand something. He's dumb for not agreeing to sign something that he knows he can't deliver. And that makes him dumb? Maybe we need to look for another word. Maybe we could call it ethical. That would sound like an ethical person to me. An unethical person would be like, where do I sign? And they know good and damn well they ain't going to win nothing. What did Chris Tucker say in Rush Hour 2? For those of you who saw it, when they went to LA after they got back from Hong Kong, was it China? And he was like, give me 6 months, Lee. Give me 6 months. I'm going to be guarding the president. And Jackie Chan says to him, yeah, but you and I both know you would never take a bullet for nobody. And he goes, yeah, but they don't know that. Case in point, they don't know that. So I'm going to get the job. I'm going to get the benefits. I'm going to get the perks. They don't know if I'm going to do that. So to me, man, I just don't like the way they're covering Kyrie. That's my only issue with this. I don't like the way they're covering Kyrie, man. Too many times people have been throwing Kyrie under the bus, and it seems to be the thing that everybody does. Y'all think I'm making this up. Somebody just said Braun is the GOAT. You just reminded me of LeBron. I wasn't even thinking about him until you just reminded me. Let's go back to when Kyrie Irving posted that link. How many people threw Kyrie Irving under the bus without even blinking an eye? Shaq, Charles Barkley, LeBron James, who else? They threw him under the bus without thinking 2 times. Without thinking 2 times. LeBron threw Kyrie under the bus because what he did is dangerous. Really, LeBron is the one talking? If we get into Nike and all that, he's the one talking? And then all of a sudden turned around and said, oh, I don't like the way nobody asked me about Kyrie. When you were up there talking about him, ain't nobody asked you to go into all of that. But you did it all on your own. So in that occasion, so many people threw him under the bus. Nobody thought twice. And now here we are. He requests a trade. And without anybody seeming to verify anything, everybody just assumes, oh, there go Kyrie Irving being another team cancer. To me, it's all about the narrative around things. Sorry, let me go. Somebody said read the paid message. Oh, I can't see it. Let me see. Let me see. I can't see it no more. I don't know. Oh, wait. Let me see. Kyrie wrecked that org from the inside out. If that's the one you're talking about, Kyrie, I don't know. I don't know that, man. I don't know how they wrecked the organization from the inside out. Any organization that trades for Ben Simmons wrecked itself. Number one. Any organization that goes against the wishes of their best player when he says, please, can you either fire this coach and the GM or I'm leaving? The organization turns around and says no. Then they come back, start the season, 3 weeks into the season, fire the same coach that the superstar requested in the summer. I'm sorry, we don't get to blame that on Kyrie Irving. We don't get to blame that on Kyrie Irving. Then turn around and start interviewing Ime Udoka. Then all of a sudden, scrutiny comes out. Then they hire Jacques Vaughn, who was always there, and then turn around and say, he's the perfect guy for the job. Meanwhile, he's been on the staff for 2 years. What? Appreciate that from South Africa. We don't get to put that on Kyrie. It's not everything that's Kyrie's fault. If you walk outside today and you trip and fall down, you're going to blame it on Kyrie too? What's going on? This is my point. It is so easy for everybody to take a negative position against this guy. And my only question is, why? Shout out to London. That team was already messed up. That team was already messed up. Kyrie said, I'm not going to get vaccinated. He made his position. He said, I'm not going to get vaccinated. Team told him, okay, you don't want to get vaccinated. What is it? We will not have a player that plays, away games and then miss home games. So go sit at home. Everybody stood up and clapped for the Brooklyn. Yeah, but good way to show conviction, man. I like what Brooklyn's doing. Way to show conviction. A month later, Kyrie Irving, you can come back. You can play road games. That's Kyrie's fault? He didn't want to get the vaccine. Is he the only one that didn't want to get the vaccine? No, wait a minute. Is Kyrie Irving the only one that did not want to get vaccinated? In the world. In the world. Even the people that did it in the NBA some of them didn't even want to do it. No, James Harden left because he realized that Kyrie was not going to get vaccinated. He realized that. James Harden was willing to do it. Kyrie was not. These are personal decisions. These are just personal decisions. This is a personal decision. And he said, I don't want to do it. James Harden's like, I'm going to do whatever it takes to win. Kyrie Irving's like, I'll do whatever it takes to win, except my principles come first. That was his stance. Does it make James Harden wrong? No. Does it make Kyrie Irving wrong? No. They both stood their position. One is not better than the other. It's what he believes. It's what he believes. What got me is people outside the media saying, oh, he should have did this. He should have. Is it your body? If I thought he should get it it doesn't give me the right to say I think he should get it because I want to see him play. It's his decision. Did y'all ever hear me talk about at any point on this channel about getting the vax or not? Did you hear me at any point? I never spoke about it because it's everyone's personal decision. Has nothing to do with me. The only people I have control over is if my immediate family, maybe if I have kids, something like that. Yes, then I have a role I can play. Am I a governor? No. Am I a senator? No. Am I an elected official? No. So I have no say-so on the matter. I have no say-so. So he didn't decide to do it, and then it created an issue. So whose fault is it? Is it James Harden or is it Kyrie? James wanted it, Kyrie didn't. But whose fault is it? And if you say it's somebody's fault, then you're now saying that he should have done it, which means you're making a decision for him. Everybody should make their own decision. But I'm not going to put all of this on Kyrie Irving. And for the simple fact, according to Chris Ames' report, if they're saying that he should sign something that stipulates he wins the championship, that is 100% unfair. Because there's no player in the NBA. Yeah, Kyrie Irving said he would before the season. The season started. They were playing games, and what happened? That all hell broke loose when he posted that link, and his own team threw him under the bus, starting with his owner. Well, you know, and what gets me is that the same people talking about, oh, what the Brooklyn Nets are doing is excessive, this is going too far, were the same ones that were throwing him under the bus, and they're the same ones doing it now. He's not a leader. Nobody said he's a leader. How many people in the NBA are leaders? How many? I don't want to look like I'm defending Kyrie. My only point for this entire live was that after watching yesterday and seeing how everyone reacted, I was disturbed that everyone took a negative position on him. The only person that was able to at least give another view was Tristan Thompson. That was my only thing. When did we all start getting into this group think? That was my only point. The only point I made, I thought about, which is the reason I said, okay, let's do a live today. Then while preparing, I now see this. Because yesterday we said we thought it was about money. We thought it was about money. And now we're finding out that it was about money, but what they're asking of him is too much of an ask. So he said, I don't even want your money no more. Let me read this. Yo, DP, I've been sub to you for some time. I adamantly enjoy your videos. Your passion for the game is much appreciated. Black Sparring Club. Hey, appreciate that, man. I thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Appreciate the support. So to me, it's just unbelievable. And what gets me is that Kyrie Irving is so toxic. He's all of these different things. He's such a... So why aren't there other teams, these other guys out there winning championships and all of this stuff? You're only going to win one. Even the best leaders don't win every year. So what are we talking about here? We rarely hear anything about Giannis's leadership skills. He just won a title not too long ago. Stephen Curry just won a title. But it seems like this is the narrative on Kyrie. That's a ridiculous contract to sign. Only a fool or a crook will sign a contract that they know they can't fulfill. Only two type of people, fools and crooks. Either you don't know you can't fulfill that thing and you signed it, which makes you a fool, or you know you can't do it and you signed it anyway because you knew it was a way to get some money. Who would sign something like that? Kyrie Irving Kyrie said he would get the vax before the season started. Then the man effed up KD's prime selfish. I hear what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. My thing is on the vax. It is a personal, what do you call it? Decision. When the news first came out, you can ask Marco. I wasn't with it at all. I was in lockdown in London at that time. Lockdown. And my mom and my sister, like, they got it. My mom is like, she's watching the news. Older people are more paranoid. My parents, they're like, okay, I gotta. So they're like, you gotta get. I was the last one in the house to get it. And the thing that made me get, I was like, okay, well, I gotta travel. I can't stay stuck here. And I heard that the complications that you got to go through to travel and all, it's crazy. And even if you do have it, you got to go through a lot of stress. I didn't do it from a self-righteous position, like, oh, I'm good, and all these people that didn't do it, they're bad. No, I made the decision for myself, not because my mom told me, not because my dad told me. I did it because I thought for myself what would best work for me. If I'm wrong about it, I'll find out in the future. That's what usually happens when you make decisions. It could be the right one, it could be the wrong one. But what I'm not going to do is then turn around and tell my neighbor, hey, I think you should get it too. If you don't want to do it, then it's your choice. If I'm in a position to control, then that's something different. I'm not. I'm just one person that's a citizen. That's all. I'm not demonizing anybody for doing it. I'm not demonizing for not doing it. It's up to them. He said he would get that. Then he didn't do it. Then whatever. What does that have to do with me? And the part where he said he would, I don't remember that because that was a long time ago. I'd have to go check that out. I'm not sure. I would have to go check that. I don't remember exactly. That was a long time ago. My only point is this. The way Kyrie's being covered, this is my only point. I'm not here to argue about the vax. I swear I'm not. My only point is this. And us talking about the vax at this point is quite irrelevant because now that was a year ago. This is a brand new season, but whatever. I get your point that it caused a lot of discomfort in the past. I get your point. All I'm saying is, at this present moment, he came into the season. He was allowed to play. He posted a link, pissed off a lot of people. His owner basically tried to discipline him publicly. I don't think his owner has any ethical ground to discipline Kyrie Irving. Nevertheless, they let him do it because big money talks. Never forget that. They disciplined Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving missed those games, donated that money, came back, started playing, and they're like, okay. He's like, look at my numbers. I'm producing. KD's gone. We still have a good record. We're the top 4 seed in the East. Let's talk about this money, apparently. And then they hit him with, oh, we need to get a stipulation that says, according to Chris Haynes, what? A stipulation that's tied to a team winning the championship. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about? I'm not with all of this Kyrie bashing, man. I think it's a little bit too much. And it looks like everybody's agreed that this is the dude that we all going to. It's like some high school stuff to me. Thanks for that, Dallas. It's like some high school stuff. Like, okay, we're cool, and he's the weirdo, or he's this, or she's this, and we're just gonna be laughing at this person every day. That's some clique nonsense, some high school. I'm not into all of that, man. Everybody should have their own opinion, and it looks like a lot of the time these dudes are just ganging up on this dude for no reason. That news dropped, and everybody thought Kyrie was dumb. Everybody, really, everybody. The only person I heard, apart from Tristan Thompson, was Emmanuel Acho, who said that could have been a power move by Kyrie. That could have been a power play by Kyrie. And in my opinion, I still think it's a good move because what other move do they have? In my personal view, here's what's going to happen. If the Brooklyn Nets do not offer Kyrie Irving this extension, here's what's going to happen. If Kyrie gets traded away, most likely Kevin Durant is going to request a trade. Most likely, and we're going to be right back where we started. And somebody's going to sit down and explain to me, why do the Brooklyn Nets keep getting a pass for their terrible management skills? At the end of the day, they would have lost James Harden, lost Kyrie Irving, lost Kevin Durant, and been left with who? Ben Simmons. When are we going to look in the direction of the Brooklyn Nets? When? When are we going to look in the direction of them? somebody left a comment, and I want to address it. I'm only going to be here for like 10 more minutes. Somebody said, I don't blame the Nets. Don't trust Kyrie. If I'm a GM, I would do the same. I want to touch on that for a second. I'm not sitting here saying that Kyrie Irving is a saint. I'm not sitting here saying that he has a perfect track record, because we can go back and look at Cleveland. We can go back and look at the situation that took place in Boston. And then we can also go back and look at what's happening in Brooklyn. Kyrie Irving is not a model citizen. I'm not saying that Kyrie Irving doesn't have a past of having drama at various places. This is true. This is not, Kyrie is not the only person. James Harden also has a reputation too. But I think you guys would agree with me. James Harden has done similar things. But I think you guys would agree with me. The way we view James Harden as a person and the way we view Kyrie, or the way, James Harden is portrayed versus the way Kyrie Irving is portrayed is two separate things. James Harden doesn't have this negative connotation that goes with him the way Kyrie Irving does. And the irony is, between the two of them, Kyrie Irving is the champion. Here's what I think. Since we want to open this up, I think there are about 2 or 3 reasons, apart from Kyrie Irving causing some of the issues for himself. I think there are about 2 or 3 reasons why the media portrays Kyrie the way that they do. And I'm going to tell you what I think. Reason number 1. One second. Keep being the voice of reason. Media spin on this has been discussing players and GMs change their mind all the time. Also, he was 100% right about the vax stance per Judge Crickets on that. Thanks for the comment. Reason number 1. And I hate to make it about this, but it's just true. People are human beings, okay? If you talk about my brother or my sister or my favorite musician, or you talk about my favorite athlete, I'm going to have an issue, or I'm not going to really like you. It's a human thing. The fact of the matter is, let me read. The Nets entrusted the franchise to their players. This is what made them come there. The Nets honored their hand of their hand of the bar. Thanks for coming. This is my side on it. LeBron James is the media darling. LeBron is more beloved by people in the media than Kobe Bryant is more beloved by people in the media. LeBron has a lot of fanboys in the media. I'm not talking about NBA players. I'm not talking about fans. We're talking about media people. They love LeBron. The minute Kyrie decided that he no longer wanted to become wanted to be teammates with LeBron, because he found out that I think they were trying to get him traded, that's when it started. That was number 1. They're going against their favorite. He's going against their favorite one, which is LeBron. This is the truth. They already started having issues with him. Shannon Sharp and these guys started having issues. The same way they got issues. Shannon's issue with KD is that KD won those 2 championships at the expense of LeBron. So KD's a no-go. That's the first thing. The second thing is his position on the vax. Most people covering it were pro getting it. Most voices covering it were pro getting it. So you already feel this way about Kyrie, for number 1. Number 2, he's now not going to do something that you already don't like. Then that's the second thing. And then the third thing is what just happened with the link that he just posted. For them to constantly say that he's a toxic person, he's a cancer, and all of these different things, to me, that is a narrative that they have decided to paint about Kyrie. This is just my view. I could be wrong, but it's just my view. I think is a narrative that they're painting about him. I don't always agree with your opinions, but always love the purpose, passion, and production. Thanks, man. Keep up the great work. Hey, appreciate that, Alonzo. Appreciate that. Have a great weekend. So that's my thing. I'm not a Kyrie fan, but I don't like the way that they're ganging up on this dude, man. And everybody just wants to agree that here come the dumb N. That's how they treat him. Here come this dumb N. Here come this dumb N. That's how it comes across to me. I'm not trying to pull no. That's how it come across to me. And the dudes throwing him under the bus the fastest is the dudes that look like him. The fastest. The fastest. When it comes to protect the player, that don't exist with Kyrie. All of that, oh, we're former athletes, the fraternity, that don't work with Kyrie. That don't work with Kyrie. All of a sudden, there's no more fraternity, protect the athlete, protect my brother. There's none of that when it comes to Kyrie. Oh, all of that go out the window. No more protect the fraternity and all of that, blah, 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 blah. None of that. Kyrie Irving is all of a sudden this to me, man. They can have at it. They can continue with that, man. But you know, I'm just not with everybody constantly saying the exact same negative thing about one person. It's getting corny now. Kobe is better than yeah, I agree with you, but you're not gonna get me started on that one, man. Y'all not gonna get me started. But anyway, that was my only point. We got a lot of content coming for you guys tomorrow. Unfortunately, we couldn't do something today, but we got content coming for you guys tomorrow. That's my only point. That's my only point. I don't like the fact that everybody just agreed that Kyrie Irving is one toxic, bad dude. Everybody thinks this. Everybody? Come on, that's too much, man. Come on, it's too much. And now, after hearing he deserves it, he effed up KD's prime. KD effed up KD's prime. We can't blame that on Kyrie. KD messed up his own prime. Kyrie went to go play. KD went to go play with Kyrie. So it's what? I don't understand. Did Kyrie drag him to go play in Brooklyn? Did he drag him to go play with him? Like was it one of my cousins? He's like, oh, I want you to be a groomsman at my wedding. This was in the past. And I'm like, I don't want to be no damn groomsman for this dude at his wedding. And then all of a sudden, he starts texting me, okay, this is the suit. This is how much the suit's going to cost. This is how much the tie is going to cost. I'm like, what is this? I don't want to do it. Then I call my dad. I'm like, yo, so-and-so wants me to be a part of their wedding. This is crazy. He's sending me all of this. He's sending me all of that. And he asked me, he goes, did he force you? Is he forcing you to go? I said, no. Did he say you have to do it? I said, no. So he said, so why are you complaining? Is he forcing you to do it? I said, no. Did they force KD to go to Brooklyn? No. He went on his own. He went on his own. I'm going to blame that on Kyrie. What's next? So that's my opinion, man. Anyway, thank you guys for being a part of this live, man. We're going to catch you on the next one. Have a good one, man. Have a good one. Peace. Peace.